Well, first of all, as a traffic engineer, I've done consulting for many of the member agencies of NYMTC. I've also, as a citizen, participated for more than 3 decades in NYMTC activities. I take the recertification of NYMTC very seriously. I recognize NYMTC's value and potential for improving the mix of projects proposed for federal funding to achieve the greatest benefit from scarce transportation dollars. Today, I want to use as one example of a wasteful project due to inadequate public and professional review. It is, as Richard Lipsky just mentioned, the Van Wyck ramps. It's TIP project number X77.44. The 2 ramps were recently added to the amended TIP with an allocation of about $70 million for a 2013 build year. The on-off ramps located south of Northern Boulevard was brought to my attention by my clients, Willets Point United, a coalition of residents, businesses, and property owners, because of the ramp's importance to the perceived viability of the Willets Point development plan, a massive redevelopment of an industrial area in north central Queens. The final generic environmental impact statement for Willets Point, prepared by the New York City Economic Development Corporation, assumes operation of these ramps to be completed by, actually the project to be completed by 2017. The Willets Point project, about 9 million square feet of new development, will daily produce 80,000 new car and truck trips, generating 116 million vehicle miles of travel each year, producing 70,000 tons a year of carbon dioxide emissions. The FGEIS reports, even with the ramps, the EDC project will have devastating effects on roads leading to Willets Point, including nearby expressways. The Van Wyck ramps are promoted as needed to provide some relief to those huge impacts. However, a careful review of the AMR report shows the ramps will have little real effect on the traffic impacts outlined in the FGEIS. Few trips are estimated to be diverted from the Grand Central Parkway and the Van Wyck Expressway, which is a major goal of the ramps. Is a tiny shift in traffic worth spending $70 million to support the Willets Point project, a project that will produce $150 million in externality costs every year? I don't think so. But the problem with the ramps is even more serious. We've done our own modeling of the Van Wyck Expressway from Northern Boulevard to Long Island Expressway, with and without the ramps. We have done so using the flawed traffic volumes used in the AMR for a weekday PM peak hour. Contrary to the AMR, we find that the ramps will increase delay in traffic in the entire network we studied by 65%. The ramps will increase emissions by 44%. Will cut average travel speeds in the study area from 18 miles an hour to 14 miles an hour, all while processing 3% less traffic, and significantly reduce travel speeds along the Van Wyck in both the north and southbound directions. In other words, the ramps don't work. And the discrepancies on local access roads are even worse, where the FGEIS reports level of service F and severe congestion. The AMR reports level of service C with free-flowing traffic. It's incredible. There are probably no 2 analyses, at least in the history of my history of New York City, for the same project that are so incredibly different. So, coming back to certification of NYMTC, the question is, how did NYMTC go about approving the project X770.44 for the TIP? Did anyone compare the FGEIS and the AMR? Did NYMTC understand the impact that the Willets Point project development plan will have on Corona and Flushing? How could they not know when the plan was approved by the City Department of City Planning and the City DOT for that matter? Just how are decisions made? What's going on here? Where is the due diligence? How can NYMTC be recertified when it rubber stamps bad projects simply because mayors and agencies want them? Build these ramps in Willets Point, Corona, and Flushing will get screwed. And as our modeling shows, so will every motorist traveling through north central Queens. New York State DOT and Federal Highway Administration have a chance to do what is right. First, they can make sure agencies like NYMTC weed out projects like Act 770.44. New York State DOT should reject New York City EDC's AMR, and the Federal Highway Administration, your agency, should use the recertification process to make sure this does not happen again. Thank you, and I'd be happy to answer your questions.